Hi, this is Jason Merica with YellowWood Wealth Solutions. Today we're going to talk about 5 tips for discussing finances with aging parents. Tip number 1, express concern, not control. You need to approach this kind of a conversation from a supportive and empathetic point of view. Because understand, the conversation you're trying to have can be very vulnerable, talking to your parents about how they're going to age and their eventual mortality. So don't take it personally if the first time you bring this up, they don't want to have this conversation, or they don't want to have this conversation with you specifically. They may not be ready for it. So have patience, explain to them why it's important, and that you want to be their partner as they go through the aging process, and that having these conversations will help you to make sure that what their wishes are carried out as they age. Tip number 2, discuss healthcare needs. Understand the medical needs of your parents and the insurances that are in place to help offset some of these costs. This could be Medicare, Medicare supplement policies, your Part D prescription drug policy, or even if your parents have it, a long-term care policy. Understand how these policies work and how you can access funds from them if needed. Have a list of the medications that they're on so that if you need to play a role in that you know exactly what they need and when they need it. Tip number 3, talk about estate planning. It's important to understand and make sure that the necessary documents are in place and up to date so that if you have to play a role with your parents or have to make any crucial decisions, that you're legally allowed to go ahead and do that. So having a conversation about things like powers of attorney for both healthcare and financial, understand their healthcare directives. So in case there's an emergency and you do have to make decisions, what types of procedures would they want to have happen, and what types of life-saving measures would they want withheld if that is their wish. Talk about wills and trusts. Who's the executor and who's going to be the trustee. It's important for those folks to know the responsibility that's going to be asked of them so that they can mentally prepare to be able to do that. And then lastly, when it comes to estate planning, if your parents are comfortable with it, maybe now or in the future, have the conversation with them about encouraging them to explain to their heirs what their estate plan is, who's getting what, and why. This can decrease the chance of kids fighting after their parents pass away and they're dealing with grieving and the distribution of both assets, but sometimes it's just the physical things. Tip number 4, be mindful of scams. Elder abuse is a huge problem. The 3 most common types of elder abuse scams that exist are romance scams, social security scams, and then fraudulent calls. These happen all the time, and as technology gets better and better, the sophistication of these scams will only continue to get better as well. So have these conversations with your parents, make sure they understand what to look out for and how to be safe. And then lastly, tip number 5, have a plan for daily life assistance. There's a lot of things that we take for granted. Things like who's going to get the mail, what bills exist, how are they going to get paid, and from what accounts do they get paid from? And even something like taxes, making sure that they get prepared and filed. These can be incredibly important. So these are our 5 tips on discussing finances with aging parents. Sometimes these can be difficult conversations, but we think they can make a big difference in ensuring their well-being and financial security. And as always, healthy plan, wealthy life.